Hello, this is Anke Corbin with Globig. I am here in Munich at BICCnet, and my guests today are Dr. Christian Thiel and Sasha Stöppelkamp. Thank you very much for joining me today and telling us a little bit about BICCnet and what it has to offer technology companies, especially IT companies from around the world.
Our pleasure. So basically, BICCnet is a cluster organization set up by the Bavarian government, and we're helping Bavarian companies and companies operating within Bavaria to network and to connect to each other.
Tell me a little bit about the types of companies that would qualify, because I think that they're IT specifically, or can they be small or large, or pretty much anyone that is within that type of business?
We are focusing on the SMEs, the small and medium-sized companies, and in the field of whole information and communication technology. That's also the name. The BICCnet is the Bavarian Information Communication Technology Cluster, and you can say the official numbers say we are 20,000 companies here in Bavaria, but we are focusing on real medium-sized companies between 10 and 500 employees, and they are in some focus points like embedded system, IT services, or data analysts, and then we have some convergence topics about, for example, in the media, it's now augmented reality, or also a new topic coming up, or not so new, depends on the point of view, is blockchain. So this is our focus. 80% of our clients are these companies, but of course Munich is a big, it's an important city for big companies and famous for, so we also have them in our cluster. They are not known as an ITC company, but BMW has the biggest ITC or informatic department here in Bavaria, and also, for example, the Allianz Insurance is very important client for us, because they are very innovative in the way of bringing new services to their clients. So they are not officially an ITC company, but of course we are collaborating and having them in our network.
And that's partly an appeal for the smaller companies in the network, because they want to know what the big companies like Siemens, Allianz, Audi, what they need at the moment, so they can offer it to them and they can connect directly to the people. So yes, we have the big companies in the network, but it's primarily for the SMEs from Bavaria or from abroad who have business or who want business in Bavaria, who are using BICCnet to connect to each other.
Is this primarily a government-funded project, or do companies have to pay some sort of a consulting fee to utilize your services?
This is actually a completely publicly funded project, so there is no fee, there's not even a sign-up. So if there's an interesting event, you just can register, it's usually for free, and you attend, and in the coffee breaks you can exchange the business cards. So it still is about the business cards, so we are in the digital age, but you will still be exchanging the business cards between the two CEOs. They don't exchange their mobile cards.
Have you found that the larger companies are open to smaller companies when working together, or is there still a challenge in getting everyone connected?
No, they are getting in the last years even more interested to get in contact with small or medium-sized companies, because they have realized that they are in some ways too big to be innovative, and the structure inside the system is too slow or too big to put the steer in the other direction. So they are really using us to get in contact, and they are very happy to have this ecosystem of different topics where they can look and take some new partners, and sometimes of course the partners are happy then they are part of the big company, or they have a big cash cow that they can accelerate their business. So it's a good synergy effect between the two company sized we are focusing on.
One nice example is we did an event for Adidas. So they were looking how to integrate ICT technologies into their sportswear. And we had a matchmaking day where we brought around 15 SMEs to their headquarters, and they presented their challenges. And the SMEs looked for ideas what they can do with their portfolio. And in the end, everybody was very happy.
It's almost like a non-technical hack event, right? Where they were sharing ideas and...
Yes, that's exactly like this, like it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned that there are other programs that you're working with. Tell me a little bit about those as well, around digitization and other clusters, or at least other groups of companies that you can assist as well.
Yeah, this is a European-founded project or program. Because the cluster work started to do what we said to do in Bavaria, but of course Bavaria is a region in Europe, so we are, and a region can only stronger if there's collaboration with other regions. So we are part of a inter-regional project with 3 other cluster offices in the ITC sector in Denmark, Belgium and Spain. And to be more concrete, it's again regions, like Bavaria is a region, it's in Basque Country, in Flanders and in North Jutland. And the idea of this collaboration is to know, the first step, to know what kind of strengths and weaknesses every region has in the field of embedded systems, in specialized embedded systems for cities. So then you can talk about cyber-physical systems for cities or smart cities. So cyber-physical is just the infrastructure. And there we are now working since 3 years to make the SWOT, to know each other better, that these companies can already collaborate, that these companies can make business in the other regions or make business together in their region. It depends, or just to interchange or exchange ideas and knowledge. And since 1 year we are more focusing on doing the next step to be more concrete, to go really international. It means to go abroad Europe, and in the field in smart cities is huge. We are focusing, or we are starting with 3 topics: mobility, energy, environment, and living. So there are 4, sorry. And there we don't have everything or everyone in the value chain, and there it means really internationalization. We are having this international collaboration here in Europe, and of course we will find some new partners, but very important that we find abroad, in where we want to go, partners and companies who fits very well in the value chain, because otherwise the business can't be done if you don't have someone regional who knows what's really going on there.
So are you looking outside of those 3 countries then to be connecting, and are you open to other countries approaching you in this, or maybe other organizations that would like to be a part of this?
I mean, actually, currently we are looking for formal partners to join the consortium. That's already well underway, but even afterwards we are looking to grow the consortium. And of course we are always looking for specialists that are treating or specialized in parts of the value chain that we are not specialized in. And also we are looking for beachhead partners in markets we want to access, so that we can help them offer a full value chain, because we are not going there with a brand and not knowing anything about the needs of the cities there. So we are going to look at that in the future.
And to be more precise, we did a survey with our companies in each of these 4 regions, and we asked them in what region you can imagine to go first, or you can imagine there will be a good place to make business. And the US was under the first 3, and the other 2 were Latin America and India, and then we had a special thing like Taiwan or Singapore, what is more like a small state or a city. And then we decided in the partnership, in the consortium, that we will start next year with the US. So what we're doing now is information gathering, getting in contact, or look what is going on in the US market in the field of smart city, and there we are very happy or looking forward to get new partners or new companies to fulfill this strategy.
Mm-hmm. I might be answering your original question from a different angle. So you ask for other networks in Bavaria that we are connected with. So I can tell you about the cluster initiative. That's a part, also initiative of the Bavarian state. Started 10 or 11 years ago, and they set up cluster offices for 16 industries. So the goal is to have inside each of those industries to have a cluster network. BICCnet is the one for the ICT, but there is one for chemical industry, for the woodworking industry, for waste treatment industry, for the aerospace industry, for medical industry, well, for all of the important industries. So when we are looking to apply ICT in a different area, we know who to contact, because we can go to the cluster offices on the same level. They are in the same broad organization, and we can access those industries and can get contacts in companies. When we say, okay, there's a new topic trending, we don't know which of those companies are forerunners in application of big data in the chemical industry. We go to their cluster office and say, we have this, we have an event, please give us the contacts. So this is a very nice way how we can broaden our network, which helps.
I think it's very helpful for companies that want to learn how to do business in this area to understand that that's how it works, because it's very smart, it's very easy to get connected, but if you don't know that, you may not find the right path. So it's
Sure.
very innovative. We haven't seen that in other countries, so it's I think it's a nice, clean, easy to access way to do business. So
I think so too, and it's especially important in Bavaria, because if you don't have the context, if you don't know which companies are going there, which are strong, and then which people to talk to in the companies, it's getting difficult. So you really need to meet in person. That's why we have the cluster events, where you can just come and you see the other people and can talk, and where you can get the direct contacts in the other industries.
The thing is also we are always looking for best practice or for hidden champions for our events. We need some speakers, we need a keynote, we need a presentation or something special in a lab to prove something or to test something. And the thing is how our clients are using our platform, because it's not a digital platform, it's like a real platform, what Christian also already mentioned, is if you talk about your product or your services on a technical level and not on a marketing level, so that's for the other technical CEOs or CIOs who's there, it is interesting to interchange how have you solved this problem, or this challenge, and then you can do marketing or sales in a more clever way, because it's not a boring marketing show. It is something, okay, we had this challenge, we did it like this. Of course, now we have the product and we're selling it, of course. But this is not where you're focusing on. It's more about the technical stuff. And then you're doing, the lead comes maybe not directly or maybe not immediately, but you're having the contacts and you have a different quality of connecting to other people.
Understanding. And half a year later, you will remember, oh, I saw this guy on a show, he did exactly what I needed to do. So how they solved it, and he can call them because he got the card, or he remembers the show it was, and he calls us and we give him the number.
I think that's an interesting observation in Germany, and maybe it's not all of Germany, but certainly here in Bavaria is you need to show what you know and what you can offer before you should market, right? It's one, developing a relationship, and two, developing your expertise or showcasing or sharing your knowledge, or however you want to say that, but it's a much smarter way of approaching a new market, especially.
Yeah, it's about showcasing and also about having a very well-defined profile. Mm-hmm. So if you go there and say, we can do IT, well, they will throw away your card because they don't know when to call you. But when you say we're about Java backend, then the chances are high you get a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a lot of smaller companies that are not IT use you as a resource to get connected to companies that are IT, or is that not part of the way the network works?
I'd say there's very few non-IT companies that use us as a network. It's mainly IT companies that try to get their products to other companies, or that try to get into a domain like Industry 4.0, where they try to go into a different domain. But it's not companies from an industry coming to us saying we need more IT. It's the other way around.
We will, this year, we are now in the third period of this cluster funding and cluster work in Bavaria, and we try now this to bring them together, the normal companies from the old normal economy with our companies, is what Christian already said, we are now doing events together with other clusters. For example, next year we will do an event, a 2 days event with the environmental cluster, what is of course about water and sewage and waste. And then we are hoping, or the cluster of environment is hoping, that for their companies, for their clients, they have to do the digital transformation. And the clusters are members of the cluster, and they're expecting it from the cluster. Please help us. Can you? There's a ITC cluster. Why can't you help us and do the connection? So this will be a try, or I think it will be successful. That we're having an event where best practice from the environmental cluster and best practice from our cluster companies come together, present their ideas, present their products, and then at the end, people who are really interested from both worlds will get connected, and then there will be business and interchange and what you need. Yeah.
I think especially for your cluster, my bias is that in a modern company, everyone is technology and everyone has to digitize.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of companies that haven't realized that they also need to be IT companies. So that was the reason I was thinking that others could come in and get some knowledge around how do you digitize, how do you bring that IT resource in.
It's still more a push than a pull for this.
Okay.
We can talk about one political thing or initiative, which is the Center for Digital Bavaria. Mm-hmm. So the Bavarian government has realized that more or less all industries and aspects of daily life will be transformed digital-wise. So they set up the Center for Digital Bavaria. So it's politically a very high priority. And for companies, it's very useful. Inside the center, they set up thematic platforms, topic platforms about Industry 4.0, about smart mobility, about medical devices,
cybersecurity.
About cybersecurity as a cross-cutting concern.
And renewable energies, what is a special topic here in Germany, but also interesting for all of the world. Right. So this is to focus on the applications in the industry, the old industries. Okay, energy is not new, but it's an old energy.
Yeah, and there's dedicated persons just being networking in these areas. So trying to connect the old industries and the digital solutions, and to accompany the digital transformation, and to bring everybody to talk to each other, which is also all as open networks. It's not a closed show. So as a company, you say, I have digital solutions, or I got a need. I am an analog company. I need special products. You can connect to this network and also get the contacts and then the solutions, or get the customers who need the solutions. So that's another networking opportunity if you're looking at specific industries and not general technologies like the BICC cluster.
Or to have a solution to help with that process.
Yeah.
If a company is new to this market, if they are coming into this market, how do they best get a hold of you? How do they find out about the events? What is the right way for them to connect into the opportunities that you have?
So the hardest thing is that the networking still happens in German. That's a little bit difficult. So the announcements, what will happen where, the shows, that will be in German. When you're then at the place and you're talking to the people, that will be IT people. So 100% of them will be fluent in English.
Got it. So it's really the marketing of the materials and the website.
It's still the culture. The presentations will be held in German. Sometimes the slides will be in English, but the talk will be in German. There's just not enough critical mass. There's below 5% of non-German speaking people who attend. So, and we're still sponsored by the Bavarian government. So it's still German. But if you're talking to the CEOs, to the technical people, well, when you go there, the group will switch to English. That's not the issue.
So it's something to keep in mind, and maybe have someone along, or at least wait till the networking times, and then you can speak in English.
Yeah,
we had an English newsletter in the past, the BICCnet, but we stopped it because we didn't reach as much companies as we want to, and the effort was too big, and So what Christian said, yeah, if you want to be part, you have to contact us by phone, by email. Our contact dates are on our website, of both websites, because we're working together, the BICCnet and the Center Digital Bavaria. And then you can just ask to be part in the newsletter, or to get a newsletter to get the information. And then, of course, if something is not clear for companies from other countries, they can just call us or write us an email in English, and then we will explain everything. And then, yeah, they just have to join, and come.
And I mean, sometimes you will see, even if you don't speak, you will see trigger words like matchmaking smart city. You're in a smart city, okay, then you can register. But if you're serious about entering the German market, you will have some kind of German language proficiency available somewhere who can do the scanning of the newsletters and also the talks on site.
Sure, at least someone in the business will. Right. Okay. Thank you both for the information and insight. Is there anything that I should have asked that I didn't, that you would like to share? Did we get?
No.
Okay. No. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Welcome.
This is Anke Corbin with Globig signing off. It was a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you.
Thank you.